Today I am reviewing Hartford Stage's production of Hurricane Diane, written by Madeleine George, directed by Zoe Golub-Sass, and running through June 29th at Hartford Stage at 50 Church Street in Hartford, Connecticut. Take shelter over at my Patreon page where you can, for as little as $1 a month, support my work here as well as my classic cinema podcast, Yesterday's Matinee. Patrons get early access to the latest episode as well as quick reviews to the reviews here and the occasional additional goodie. Thank you to my current patrons, especially my Neo and Hamilton tier patrons, and welcome to the new ones. Links to my Patreon and podcast pages are in the description. A play may have a positive message, but how that message is presented can really sully the intent. Such is the case with Hartford Stage's production of Hurricane Diane. Set in a Red Bank, New Jersey cul-de-sac, the Greek god Dionysus has come to Red Bank in order to create their own cult of followers in order to restore the earth to its former ecological glory before industrialization, pollution, and deforestation stripped it of its grandeur. Posing as a landscape specialist, presenting as a woman, and going by the name Diane, played by Bernadette Sefik, Diane intends to seduce 4 different women who live in the cul-de-sac to create a cultish harem while building a new ecosystem in their track house yards that will revitalize the environment and potentially save the whole earth. As it is introduced at the top of the play by Diane, the premise promises a romantic or sex comedy that could be almost Shakespearean in spirit. Unfortunately, that is not the end result. Whether it is the writing, the directing, or the acting, or a combination of all three, Diane ends up being less a seductive god and more of a sexual predator who seems so out of practice in attempting to seduce the first woman she meets that the woman, Carol Fleischer, played by Katya Campbell, becomes Diane's antagonist. The thing is, after the first altercation, whether Diane's intentions are noble on a global scale or not, her actions were so off-putting that I was on Carol's side the rest of the play, regardless of the detrimental repercussions to the environment and the willingness to whatever degree the other 3 ladies give themselves over to Diane. The other ladies all have their own issues that make them more susceptible to Diane's temptations. This, on the surface, makes things feel a little more acceptable, but only because the 3 ladies, to varying degrees, are more willing, not because Diane has become any better of a being, so our support for Diane doesn't really reestablish itself. Also, she does it by taking advantage of their vulnerabilities. Well, except for maybe Renee Shapiro-Epps, played by Sharina Martin, who becomes jealous of Carol, and Beth Wan, played by Elise Allen Lewis, getting sexual attention from Diane and essentially throws herself at her. In the end, whether we agree with Diane or not that the Earth needs to be revitalized ecologically, there's very little reason to support her ethically, which is a shame. It's something that just a little bit of writing and or directing to make her more likable would have made the play feel more comical and less cringy. It's a tale of 2 performances on Bernadette Sefik's part, as when Sefik is presenting Diane to the audience through fourth wall breaks, she's quite appealing and likable, in an almost puckish kind of way. But when Diane starts interacting with the other characters, it feels deeply uncomfortable and at times inappropriate. The rest of the cast is quite enjoyable. Their contrasts and characters create a colorful degree of conflict that is comical as they debate how they would like to have their properties redressed by Diane and how their relationships and careers are going. This end of the play is quite delightful and funny. I do love Emmie Finckel's scenic design of the kitchen set. As the ladies live in tract homes, they all have identically designed kitchens. This leads to some clever direction by Golub-Sass, as the ladies are all moving around their own kitchens in their own homes, all at the same time, talking to different people on the phone. It's my favorite moment of the play, as we live out multiple scenes at once on one set, and it all reads clearly. An-lin Dauber's costume designs are also great, from Diane's various mix of classic Greek to modern outfits, to the characters' specific designs of the 4 ladies, like the conservatively dressed Carol to the flamboyant Pam Annunziata, played by Cristina De Chico, who, by the way, gives the most delightful eccentric performance as the Italian Catholic Pam, at one point giving snarky attitude towards her friends when deserved, but also hiding a fragility that ultimately gets manipulated by Diane. As much as I like and appreciate the intent of Hurricane Diane, I feel it fails in its execution, as we should be inclined to agree with Diane's objectives to create a healthier planet, but the way the character is portrayed, either by the writing or the direction or the performance, or all of the above, makes Diane so unlikable through her unwanted sexual advances that it makes the play feel dirty in a bad way. But I am only one man's opinion, so be sure to leave yours in the comments below. If you'd like to see Hurricane Diane, I'll leave a link in the description where you can get tickets. Also in the description will be links to my Patreon and podcast pages, as well as my social media handles where you can support my work. You can also support me by liking and sharing this video, subscribing to the channel, and clicking the notification bell to be alerted to future reviews. My next review will be the new off-Broadway musical, Bear Grease. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the theater.